Who's where? Joko is now in for group. Eli is back in for them. And for perfect pace racing. T-Bot for TBG. I see 4 SSL, 3 ALR. Black flag? No, that's in. Absolute's there. LTR's in, both RRA are in. Queen's Head, yeah, in. Capelton, I mean, it's Shadow. Yeah, okay, so. Do the stream link now. All right. Look, I think it's just the one team we're missing. This is now the 16 hours. It fucking might be, honestly. Just missing the one. Alright, let's have a look at what order we are in. So it is Syndra from Astro from Loloski. It's 131, which is Epsilon again. That man's going to be dead by the end of this. It's perfect racing. Eli is in 5th. Then it is Jokul. It's 130, which is Junta, I believe. Yeah. That's TBG, then LTR. It's back.
I'm back.
Jesus Christ, you scared the living out of me. I have not jumped out of my chair that much in a long time. Holy Christ.
Pussy. Sorry, I had to.
It's tech. Oh, God. Then it's Brutus again. Then it's purple. It's white. Shadowline. Certainly been worse. We're just waiting on one more.
One more what?
One
Oh,
more
person. Duh.
will join. Alright. I love how I said we're going at 45 and then someone's not in the lobby, so we can't go until 50.
Crack the whip!
Perry's brain is barely functioning. My brain is barely functioning.
Who's talking shit?
Goalie.
My Arctic neighbor to the north.
We do get to take the piss out of Capel in this stint, though.
Yes!
It is, yes, Jill. We haven't had a damn bit of rain the entire time. We just need Richard to enter in. Nah, we need some rain. I see he's entered in. That's fine. Move him up one place. I don't know why I'm looking at my car. Not like I'm doing much about it. I mean, yes, it'll finish early if it doesn't rain. However,
Boo. That's the however. End of argument.
We either need weather or for whoever is currently driving the car, Sintra, to please start. Thank God, I was about to say if the game glitches again. Alright, here we go again. What is goalie on about?
Probably poutine or something.
Does my eyes deceive me or do I see BX? Your eyes definitely deceive you. Your eyes are playing tricks on you. That's a certain. Alright, so we got Syndra from Astro. So Astro's got it back in the car straight away. I'm assuming Astro's probably going to do both the final two stints to try and recover as much as possible from this.
Hey, more props to him.
I'm more intrigued as to why goalie's been sent up since 2 AM in the morning.
Just a fan. Big fan.
Only 7 o'clock. Only just about to turn 7 o'clock in the UK. Which means if you've been up for 12 hours, you got up at 2 AM in the morning doing nothing but this and raced until 2 PM in the afternoon.
About to be.
And that was time, sure. Oh, that was time. I've been up for 12 hours doing nothing but this.
I mean, same.
Yep, sounds right. He actually got up at 2 AM in the morning. Why?
We just love ALR that much. Oh, hold on. Oh
He's
yeah.
cracking a cold one up with the boys.
Oh yeah.
I think the bigger question is,
Yes.
why is Golly go to sleep when I'm getting up? Well, Golly getting up when I'm going to sleep.
When worlds collide.
All that for DBR9 catastrophe.
Oh.
That's one way of putting whatever the hell you've driven today.
You're a tough critic. You know that?
Yeah, I'm aware of that.
As long as you know.
I'll give Goalie a little bit of grace because he had only crashed once in what was about 4 hours. So I'll give him a little bit of grace. We are going to resume our bet of who has crashed more times, Queen's Head or Brutus, though.
Sorry, I'm working on a new iteration simultaneously of a Project Platypus. Like, the number board is just always the hardest part to place. Just the number in general.
Alright, we're just going toward the end of the, not the end, we're in the middle of the lap, realistically, of the outlap here. You've just been asked what kind of beer did you open?
A Michelob Ultra Lime Cactus.
Hold on, repeat that one again?
It's an Ultra Lime Cactus.
Lime Cactus.
Flavor. Lime Cactus flavor, correct.
What the fuck?
Hey! He's good. Shit's good.
Lime Cactus.
Yes, sir.
It's well and truly a new one.
No, hey, it's really good. It genuinely is pretty good.
The Icelandic, one of the Icelandic people asked you that, so you feel like you're getting heavily judged.
They asked what I was drinking?
Yeah.
I'm afraid no ghost.
Sundancer's giving a currently not at all sarcastic rave review about the Porsche. You're currently sat nowhere near the front. You've died a bajillion times. A fairly appropriate amount of slander for the choice. And even then, it's probably not enough. Just on the outlap right now. We got 18 laps. Well, 17 laps. Yes, skill issue. It's not like me, you, and Brutus have been fighting for a title for the last 8 weeks.
Touchy.
Jack chooses 296. Drives 296 the entire season. Also, Jack, when
that
offered the
for the number?
opportunity to get the 296 in
Number?
this. No, I'll go DBR9 instead.
Like, I can't really put it anywhere else.
Alright.
Like,
All the way back up to the mini carousel now, so we'll get to see how things are going to shake out for the next 2.5 hours.
which stint is this? 5 or 6?
5.
5. Okay.
ALR's for everybody, literally. From World Series down to... Are we even sure you've driven a car before?
Well, of course. Did someone ask who it's for, or what? How good you have to be?
Yeah, they did. Yeah, they asked
People
if
always
there
ask
was
that.
the league out there for us noobs and B2C ranks. Yeah, there's 10
man.
tiers.
ALR.
Yeah, there's 10 tiers, Chief. If you want in, there is well and truly going to be a tier at some description, at some level for everyone around. Even then, there are some people who are B and C kind of level, that are a lot quicker than a B or C kind of level.
True.
Definitely not vouching for my own sanity here.
I mean, I was like E rank for the longest time just because I didn't do any online races.
Yeah, same. I've only been doing races for online races for the last couple of weeks, and now I'm in B at the moment.
Feels like it's the best place I can go. Jag is hard for number boards, man.
Right, let's see what the 2.5 hours it has in store for us. I genuinely thought Syndra was just pulling a Hemi for a second then. I was just like, why is he not moving? And I forgot that the fuel exists.
Poor Hemi.
He was my teammate last season. I'm allowed to take the piss out of him slightly.
Oh no, I just meant that happened.
And by slightly, I mean probably all the way down to the next 12 hours until you get the chance to actually not do that. Hell, Sick Boy still gets bullied for his nation's cup strategy.
As he should. That was bad. I wasn't even around for it, but I know of it.
Yeah, that's still arguably the worst strategy call potentially in ALR ever. So you say every single season, Jack. You literally start every single season with I'm going to get demoted, or someone else is quicker than me, or something of that nature. There we go, Lewowski is in the car. Haven't seen him since the rain stint earlier on. So it is medium, softs for Syndra, mediums for Astro, mediums for Lewowski. Epsilon on softs for now, and At the end of the day, the only way to get quicker in GT is to drive against people that are quicker than you. It is a painful way of doing it, and it will begin to feel like you are banging head against a brick wall at some point, but the only way to get quicker at a game is to play people who are better than you at the game.
Ding, 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 ding. Correct.
As infuriating as that is.
Oh, yeah, it sucks, but you gotta do it to get better.
Yeah, because you can take the things that the people who are around you that are better than you are doing and put it into your own racing.
I mean, that's how it works for any video game.
Yeah.
If you want to get better at Smash Bros, you gotta play people that are gonna kick your ass. And then eventually, it'll be your turn to kick someone's ass.
And then it feels extremely good when you do.
Correct.
And then the next game you're about to get your ass handed to you.
Correct. There's always a bigger fish.
Unless you're literally number one in the world.
Yeah, but that's not gonna happen. Probably. Never know, but probably.
Couple people.
Pyro, what's your opinion on liveries that don't have number boards, but it's more of like a F1 style number?
I usually like I don't, to be honest with you, I'm not a fan of a number board. I've never been a fan of a number board. I think it stands out as a bit.
It can certainly annoyingly complicate things.
It comes across the same way as football sponsors are, like sponsored on shirts and on football kits for me. Like,
interesting.
If you do a number board well, you can get away with it. If you don't do a number board well, it looks like you're wearing the Bournemouth kit. For those it's just a gigantic pink circle in the middle of a black and red kit.
I've just hit a predicament where there's no real good place to put it.
I reckon Perry, as a livery designer, probably agrees with you, Jonathan.
What?
Very much on the opposite side. About he said he didn't like it without a number plate.
It depends. Sometimes a design is just better suited for a number plate. Sometimes it's not. It's not the end of the world if it doesn't have one. It can certainly be limiting. Thank you, Jonathan.
I'm trying to figure out whether or not how long these guys have to wait. What are we looking at? Big Fat Viking, 7 minutes and 6 seconds. Oof. Oh, we might be here for a while.
How's everyone's day been?
I forgot that the max wait is 10.5 minutes. What, the next one probably 12, 13, I reckon. He said that with things beside him that probably would in fact tell him that what is going on. Eli's on mediums, Delta's on a soft tyre, mediums for RRA, mediums for Astro, and soft for Syndra so far. And this is where things get interesting, because Syndra is pretty much through the first lap. Syndra's about to come up to the mini carousel. And we've just got Jokel up and running. Alright, here we go.
Does that car even... It does have a number board, doesn't it?
Which one?
The Big Fat Viking.
It's... Yes, it has. little bit on the side there, just after the wind mirror. All right, let's see what Jokel can do then. Eli, 2 minute 31 in front. Jumper's going to be waiting quite a while behind. Pretty sure actually everyone outside the top 7 has been lapped. Outside the top 6 rather has been lapped. So Jumper's going to have to wait for Sindra to go around at least once before he gets ready to go. Also, Jumper's gonna. Oh, great. Thanks, buddy. That's
bless you,
right in
Dad.
the middle of the sentence. I feel like there might need to be context given to the Mr. 3 times comment about Jokel.
Now the question is, will we get it?
It looks like Jumper has finally got off to the races, so putting this fuel in his car. Should be a few that come out fairly quickly here then. So we'll see 8:47 and 9:2, 9:14, 9:27, 9:34. Yeah, we got about 4 or 5 cars that'll be fairly close to each other off the start of this one. Back is starting to get ready as well. 3-time national champ of Iceland. Fair enough.
Who is what?
The guy that's currently in the car for the Big Fat Vikings, a 3-time national champion in Iceland.
Of what?
The Icelandic League. This.
See, that's what I mean. There's a million fucking national leagues that I just have no clue exist. Not that there's anything wrong with them. There's just countless of them.
That's why I would much love ALR to become a incredibly international league. It's a pretty big international league in the first place. Like, we've got people from all over the place. And we'll see what Jokel can do then. On the medium tyres, let's see what he can take out of Eli's time. That's going to be the marker, 2:31 to start with. The question then becomes, how quick is quick? We are all pretty much underway then. Absolute Seville in his car. Richard still in his. Same with Capale. All 3 of them were effectively allowed out at the same time. As we see the blue flag get turned on immediately with the RRA driver in 3rd, right behind him and getting caught up behind Absolute. Needs to get out of the way for him. And does so. Wonder how annoying that's going to get for the drivers out front, the lap traffic. Sooner rather than later. Let's pray Brutus has a clean stint. We're just going to turn to him, he's already going to be dead. Capale and Absolute fighting it out. Capale going to the inside. Capale getting a move up into 13th. He's on soft to start with. Medians for Absolute, who's found himself with a half-second penalty. I'm not entirely sure how. We haven't even hit the chicane part. We literally haven't even hit the chicane part of the GP circuit yet. And he's managed to find a half-second penalty. We're just inventing new places to find track limits. Good job on the mediums is 4.5 seconds further back. Brutus 6 seconds behind Deck. Back 9 seconds further up the road than that. wonder if Brutus can keep his stint clean and actually stop hitting the wall. He will actually gain positions on this stint because he is a very good driver, an annoyingly good driver actually. It doesn't matter how good of a driver you are. If you can't get from point A from point B to actually, well, with a clean car, then you're gonna get beat. It doesn't really matter who you face.
True.
Jonathan said he puts the number boards exactly where the stock number boards would go. Even if it's not ideal to put them there.
I was going to say, sometimes those are shit. Sometimes.
You see,
sometimes they're fun.
I'm a fan of the kind of style at the back like Brutus currently has, with the number just in a place where you can see that fairly easily.
Mm-hmm.
But like, I don't know. I maybe it's just my preference to go with things like NASCAR numbers or the F1 kind of numbers. But I do like that kind of thing a bit more. Decker's currently only 5 seconds ahead of Brutus. Brutus already starting to close the gap down to the top 10. Capello's already cleared Absolute for 5 seconds and is starting to catch Peckish. He's currently got Rich of 4.4 seconds off the back of that. That gap will continue to come down throughout the lap, and then again. When the penalty line hits. Rather substantially when the penalty line hits, rather. Senyor back 8 seconds ahead of Dex, so Senyor back's just having a little bit of an issue in this sector. As it stands. He is 14 seconds off the back of T-Bot. Joe Cole already caught 3 seconds up on Eli. Lap to lap, if he can do 3 seconds a lap, he'll do a lot of damage here. You know, 3 seconds a lap, he'll do about almost a minute's worth of damage to Eli by the end of the stint. I don't know who is in the car to end off for Big Fat Vikings. I wonder if he's going to get a chance at redemption.
How cinematic.
We'll have to wait and see for that one. It's a very somewhat decent start here for Jokulin. Epsilon has caught up a decent way to the back of Lavoski as well. 12 seconds is the gap there. Astro's up to 38 ahead of the pole. Now, I have a funny feeling Incognito has gone out of the car from his stint, and the words he probably said to Lavoski is, "Keep me within arm's reach." Or some version of the Polish version of that.
I think it would have sounded a bit more threatening.
Because if he gives him a chance at Astro in particular, then who's to know? Who's to say that maybe they don't slip them the way into the top two? The polls, because I think first is somewhat unattainable already.
Not with that attitude.
Oh, Sindra just dropped to 8:02.5. The fastest lap of the race so far is an 8:02.3.
I see.
Himmy is on a boat right now. Epsilon's annoyed at Absolute for the blue flags. I mean, it would probably be easier for you to just catch up to him and overtake him rather than warn him about blue flags, which he probably has blaring across his screen right now. Don't fucking kill the car. Incognito, probably. Oh, it's a bit sliding there from Absolute. Epsilon's going to try and work their way round here. Going to have a nice line to the inside, down into the danger. This could be fairly easily done, the blue flags. And the penalty's going to kick in anyway, so there you go. Absolute will let him by, and Absolute... Oh, my God, Epsilon almost turned over the nose of Absolute while he was ghosted. Which honestly might have been the most impressive thing he could have done in that scenario. Jumper is right ahead of Brutus. So Decker's got past Jumper. Jumper's already had problems. A 17-minute outlap. Isn't too bad compared to the rest of the group, actually. But he has found himself fairly behind on the 8 ball already because he pit at the end of lap 1 of racing in this stint. Not entirely sure why.
I suspect we'll find out.
And it does allow for Brutus to get within 7 tenths. Deck 3.5 seconds up the road here, so Brutus really is catching Deck as well. Inside 5 seconds now. Deck is catching Senor Fack, who's only 5 seconds ahead of him now. 5.5 seconds ahead of Deck, and that gap was almost 9 at the start of the stint. Senor Fack's got to find himself a little bit of a rhythm early on here. Alright, 2.2, 2.5 actually now between Senor Fack and T-Bop. So everyone just slowly creeping up on the guy in front of them in this stint. There's a yellow flag.
For whom?
Apparently. Who? 148 out front. Doesn't look immediately. I can't immediately see who caught the yellow flag, if there was one. Either way, Brutus on the outside of Jumper. Round the long way! Can he get it done? Ah, that's what caused T-Bop to go back. Okay, fair enough. Brutus not able to get it done there. They're not able to go around the outside the long way on Jumper. Jumper's now going to defend. And probably means the Jumper's going to survive a little bit longer. This is not usually the overtaking section of the track. It's T-Bop. Yeah, he does have rear damage. So it's T-Bop that caught the yellow flag. And that'll be why Fack is closing at quite the rapid rate now then. Capel 14 seconds off nearly 15 seconds off the back of Peckish. Not really making much of a charge in there. Brutus 41 seconds ahead of his Aero GT counterpart. Still on the back of Jumper for now. Then Deck 4, 5.5 up the road is extended his gap on Brutus in particular because Jumper is holding Brutus up. Oh, see, back right on the back of T-Bop now. That rear damage is going to play a massive part here in getting Senor back up into the top half. Someone tell Jumper to bin it. No, that's probably going to end up being Brutus before anything else.
Give him a chance.
If I'm not bantering people, then you're watching the wrong stream. Brutus will have a run. He's got the overspeed on the outside. Had to go and jump for now. Had a real go at him. He's a little bit ahead. And had a full car length ahead now. And Brutus is up in a 10th. So Brutus up in the 10th. He has lost a decent chunk of time on deck. But now has the chance to push the envelope just a little bit, try and cut that gap back down and open up the door in a couple of laps' time. Senor Fack is right on the back of T-Bob. Deck is not going to be too far away either. Currently less than 3 seconds off the 2 drivers. This is probably, again, not the greatest part of the track to catch someone up, especially when they have damage, given the fact that there's no real overtaking opportunity for this entire section. Not unless there's a mistake being made. Anyway. Senor Fack's just going to have to hold up, be holed up on the back of T-Bot for now. This is perfect news if you're Deck. Just trying to get yourself involved. Deck now 2.5 seconds. Already gained half a second in this little fight alone. Senor Fack now has a little bit more space to try and attack. Problem is that T-Bop has kept him at arm's length for now. Syndra into the pits. Syndra only doing 2 laps on a soft is an interesting call.
That is interesting. You can get way more out of it than that. He must have something in mind. Surely.
You'd think. He's got, what, 15 laps left of this race now? Potentially just 3 sets of mediums. If he wishes to do that. I do think that the mediums are definitely the better race tyre of the group. Senor Fack is realistically not putting a lot of pressure on T-Bob, which is fairly surprising and is well and truly dragging Deck back into this. Brutus now 6 seconds, or less than 6 seconds off the back of Brutus, about 6 seconds off the back of Deck. And this little group that we are currently watching in 7th place. And there goes Senor Fack just blisting past T-Bop because of T-Bop having damage 156, and it looked like about 10 mile an hour excess for Senor Fack right now. Would that open the door for Deck on T-Bop? Maybe not. It looks like Deck will have to put in a little bit more work on the next lap then to get this done over T-Bop, who will stay out and continue with the damage. Brutus is slowly closing in. Was 5.9, is now 5.3. A 3-second advantage on Gunther, who is about to get a lap put on him by Astro. There you go, lets him go. Astro on the inside. Deck is now within half a second of T-Bob, so we will continue to watch this battle for now. Imagine someone be on the belt of Brutus in a second and let Astro String go. Oh, T-Bob getting a little bit slidey at the bottom of the hill. Someone just in. That is a lot of Polish, and I'm not going to be able to translate that.
I don't speak Polish either.
Deck to the inside on T-Bop. T-Bop has damage, and it is going to continue to haunt him by the looks of things. Deck has got by, and up in 8th he goes. Brutus is the next man up. 4.5 seconds off the back of the TBG driver. Surprisingly, not that far off the back of Deck either. Slowly but surely catching up. If he can get the next few laps right, he should have the move. Capello is now 11 seconds off the back of Peckish, as Capello is trying to get things to go. Let's have a look. Staying out, yeah, the damage is not fun. I can imagine that. Continue on. Rich Hobb is caught up to the back of Absolute, so I don't think he'll be complaining too much there. Alright. Yeah, now we've got a set. Both of these within a second, so that means Rich Hobb should be able to go after Absolute. Well, Absolute has damage to his front bumper here, so Rich Hobb should be able to make some form of a move sooner rather than later. Absolute has a lot less fuel as well. You imagine that this is going to be an attempt for Rich to try and get something done early. Deck is behind Brutus. So Deck is now behind Brutus. Something must have happened there. It looks like he was already behind Brutus when we get to the replay there. So, either way, Brutus is now ahead of Deck. Situation doesn't really... It hadn't really... I don't know. Astro's now going to get himself in. Astro's in traffic. This is really bad news for Astro. As if there wasn't already an incredible amount of bad news to go for the Swede today. Oh, a little bit sketchy from him and from Deck. And Deck is going to go a little bit wide, and that'll allow Astro through. It also allows Brutus to just start going off into the distance. You can imagine someone is going to be on the bell to Brutus now. T-Bop 1.5 seconds ahead of Brutus as they fight for 7th place onwards. Then you're back in 7th. Then you got all the way back to, well, realistically, Gunther in 11th. Oh, Brutus is off the track! Brutus is off the track and somehow avoided damage and all that. But he's also caught his own teammate. Well, his own teammate in quotes. Aero GT counterpart. Aero GT counterpart. Astro Stream there. Almost got wiped off the track as Brutus re-entered. After, well, we're getting on the grass a lot. Somehow scraping across the wall and avoiding damage, which is not like Brutus. He finally gets luck to go his way for once today. But does bring him back into the fold with Deck and company. And Astro's probably going to hope that he never has to see these guys again. T-Bop's in trouble now. T-Bop let Astro go, but the problem is letting him go almost let Brutus through. Sent him a message to let Astro by, drives into a wall.
Gotta be careful when you text and drive.
T-Bop almost sliding the car a little bit too much there. These three are fighting for actual position. T-Bop's got damage, the other two do not. We actually have some fighting. Senor Fact's enjoying this because he's now 9 seconds up the road and not really has to worry about the three that are currently fighting. Dex trying to look to the inside of Brutus every time that they get the opportunity. Now Brutus is going to look to the inside of T-Bop and he will get through. Will there be an opportunity for Dex to do the same? T-Bop is off the track. Not sure if there is contact between the two of them. Dex refusing to go on through. T-Bop is going to crowd him out. And it looks like Deck is still alive. T-Bop is now the car in the way. T-Bop is going to struggle down the straight. And he is going to get past. As Deck on T-Bop. And Deck is up in the ninth with Brutus not that far in the distance. T-Bop's going to get a nice little bit of slipstream. Never going to get the chance to overtake. That's for certain because of the deficit caused by the damage. There's Jumper in the back of the screen as well, trying to get involved. A nice four-way battle in the middle of the field.
If there's one thing this race has given us, it has been battles at pretty much every spot up and down the order.
Astro into the pits. T-Bop into the pits. I don't even know if Brutus will do the car justice. Brutus needs to do Brutus justice. Well, that's for certain. Brutus doesn't need to do the car justice. Brutus just needs to do himself justice in this, right? In this stint. Given how awfully tragic his first two stints went earlier. Brutus had insisted on keeping it. Fair enough. The entire stint, the entire end of the last stint was just confusing because I think others were very clearly just starting to lose grip on the endurance side of things and just crashed constantly.
Yep, kind of forgetting they have to hand the car off to the next person.
And Brutus now 1.5 seconds clear of Deck. 9 behind Senor Fact. So he's got some work to do now then. Jokel is pretty much matching Captain Eli's pace. As it stands, the gap was 218 the last time we saw it. It's 219 now. I didn't say you were doing it on purpose. You were just making it look like it. Even though you've found skill in crashing your car constantly. Epsilon now 21 off the back of Wacky, who's finally starting to figure something out. Believe it or not, if you can't drive the track with the curbs, don't hit the goddamn curbs. It's not that difficult of a concept. I can promise you it's quicker than spinning. Lasky 19 seconds off the back of AstroStream, but AstroStream has just pitted. The gap now over 2 minutes to the lead. This has effectively been one-sided since since Ahmed hit the front. All right. Not really. It doesn't look like the gap between first and second is going down an awful lot, if it is going down at all. Either way, I don't think Sindra is too bothered about it, because there's really not a lot that's going to trouble him apart from himself.
It really is his race to lose here.
Yeah, it is a fight between Sindra and Sindra at this point. Literally, the only thing you have to fight that far in front of this is your own complacency. Right now, he is slowly opening the gap. Hearing Perry talk randomly after going quiet for so long is scary.
Sorry.
He forgets that Perry is here. Random jump scare. Perry is currently working on a livery right now by the sound of things.
Yes.
No,
Just a proof of concept.
He's still alive for now, Jack. That is team up in the back of the screen there against Astra. Let's see what else is going on. Do we have any battles anywhere? Brutus is closing down Senor Fact. That is a second gain for Brutus at this point in time. But the problem is he hasn't really shaken Deck, which is very good work from Deck, to be completely honest with you. Deck has done a very good job to hang with the group. Gunther 6.9 just starting to drop off a little bit. And it's T-Bot 20 seconds off the back of that. Pit at the end of lap 4. Peckish 14 seconds off the back of T-Bot right now. Shouldn't be too far away from Pin. Probably going to pit at the end of this lap. And there's Capale, who has only just come in the lap prior. Currently 49 off the back of Peckish, 18 ahead of Richard, who is ahead of Absolute by a landslide. That gap now 1 minute and 41 seconds. So Absolute has had an absolute nightmare of a lap on lap 4. No, Capale pit. Alright, all of a sudden, I don't know what happened to Deck, but Deck has lost a couple of seconds to Gunther and lost a couple of seconds to Brutus. And what was going well, kept it within 1.5 seconds of Brutus, is now 4.5 seconds of Brutus. Very quick change of events there for the South African, and now Brutus has got the ability to go forward rather than backwards. And I almost couldn't even finish the sentence before he lost control of the car. He is still going after Senor Fact. So Senor Fact will still have to watch what Brutus is doing. Hey, 0.21 for Sindra, which is now the fastest lap of the entire session, I'm pretty sure. The entire 12-hour race up to this point.
I would say that's correct.
JP drives to Black Flag Racing. I think that's Bluebeard's team.
I believe so.
I think Absolute already might be at the limit for the max time for next time out. That final stint. I'm pretty sure it's somewhere in the region of about 13 minutes. Oh, Capel's dead. Yep, Capel's got damage to the front of his car. Capel dead. All of a sudden, he's now 1:06 off the back of Peckish. We knew Peckish still had to pit, but it certainly won't cost him that level of time. Deck had to pit as well, going out on what has to be a new set of mediums. Yep, on 100. And it's out in 11th. T-Bop 12 seconds up the road. Peckish is into the pit. Lewoski is into the pit. I can't flame someone who's already dead. Now I can flame Brutus because Brutus seems to be insistent on getting back up. I can't flame someone who is already dead. Great job right on the back of him now. So, if anything, Capel looks backwards now instead of forwards. 3.5 seconds to the Porsche behind. And that'll basically say everything you need to know. Brutus, 9 seconds out of jump there. 7.7 off the back of Sergio Fack, who's currently in 7th. Yeah, but what happens if you're already in a wreckage in the car? It's not exactly worth cremating them.
What? Ah, Lord Hands, okay.
I love the fact that Perry is only half listening, and it's really funny to watch in the content. It's really funny to listen to no context.
How's this Icelandic fella doing? That's supposedly crazy fast.
Currently, roughly about 4 seconds quicker than Eli over the stint so far. Joined in, he'd be probably bottom end of tier 2, high end of tier 3.
Shit, I should book a ticket to Iceland.
Just because you book a ticket to Iceland doesn't mean that they're going to let you race in the Icelandic League.
You don't know that.
I mean, ask
Maybe
them.
they're
In
friendly.
their goddamn chat. The Icelandic people are extremely friendly. Yeah, Goal, you are effectively fighting for 7th place here. 7 seconds, pretty much to the dot.
Abandoning my own team or making a ticket? No. This is about nationality.
Goalie, the data can say what the data wants to say. The data also has Philip in tier 2.
God knows where I'm going to be after this physics update.
Also, $11 30. Wasn't it 11 30 on the last stint, Jill? I thought it was 11:30 in the last stint. No, it was 10 minutes on the last stint. So this is 11. Okay, 2.5 hours only goes on one. You're gonna get half the grid in that max time. That's a certain. The absolute is already there, and so will Richard and Capale on the last stage. Magic something out of thin air. Peckish is already on 11 minutes and 10 seconds. So we are going to get fighting in the final stint. Even if it is manufactured fighting. We definitely switched up the stints when each of them happened, and then definitely forgot to switch up the extended time that goes with it. They're 31 seconds ahead of Peckish. I think we'll get at least 4 drivers in that 11.5 minute route.
How many laps is the last stint?
It is 15. This is finishing at midnight my time. I've already accepted it. I'm actually on target for half 11. I think at the moment.
Woof. You might be flying solo it for the last stint, though.
That's fair. Sindra into the pits then. You go through. Jokel into the pits as well. Next stint is 2 hours long. Yep. The gap currently 2:19 between Jokel and Eli, which is effectively back where it was. There's a couple of them. I know for a fact the Eagles Patriots are starting at midnight. The Ravens Vikings are currently playing, and it's still 3-3. I am not getting Hurricane into do commentary. I like this channel and this and this server. Senor Fat currently 8.2 ahead of Brutus now, so Brutus is just slowly but surely dropping off the back of Senor Fat. The 296's tyres are in a significantly better position than that of the DBR9. That is for certain. They're both clear of Gunther and T-Bop and company, though, further back. Effectively lap 5 from the first... well, from the outlap, lap 5 of racing laps rather, for those that haven't pit yet. Brutus is going to go in at the end of the lap, so we'll send you back. Send you back has a lot more fuel than what Brutus does, though. Brutus is barely going to get to the end. Send you back into the pits. Brutus is going to go as well. The battle for 7th continues, but it is 11 seconds now in the advantage of Senor Fak. Brutus must have made a little bit of an error to give up about 3 seconds there then. Senor Fak's basically an entire fuel tank ahead of Brutus now.
This is a good time to study the fuel tank of the DBR9.
It's certainly its tires are certainly worse than that of the 296. That's a certain. Epsilon into the pits now. Then Lasky pitted not that long ago. 8:22 on the last lap. Currently on an 8:21 outlap at the moment as he goes down the Dottinger straight. We'll see how close he's going to get to being ahead of Epsilon Delta then. Epsilon's just about to run full fuel, go onto the medium tyre then. Exiting the pit comes Epsilon. Definitely got to be a medium tyre going on that car, and it is. If they're going to beat the Polish out, if not, it's not going to be by a lot. The Polish are still ahead. It's less than a second the gap though. Now, both a minute and some change off the back of Astro Stream. It's a minute 42 off the back of Syndra. And all of a sudden, the gap at the front is just starting to really become a gap at the front again. It's realistically now a fight for who can finish on the bottom step of the podium. And right now, my money for that would well and truly be with Incognito and the Polish company in this one.
I think I'd have to agree.
Wacky should be able to keep them close enough, and then Incognito should, in theory, just blast away. He's definitely, probably, well, him and Syndra have definitely been the fastest two people on the track so far today. That is including Astro Street, which is not the sentence I thought I'd say coming in.
Man, it is like a Vantage centipede out there. They're just nose to ass.
They are fighting each other all the way through into the Notch Life section. Look. A little bit more. Eli 223 ahead of Jokel. Now that gap has basically returned to where it started. T-Bop 5 seconds behind. Gunther needs to find a way to close that gap in a little bit more. Senor back only 2.5 seconds clear of Brutus now. So Senor, because Brutus didn't put in anywhere near as much fuel. That will be why. And is also on soft tyres compared to Senor Fac's mediums. So strategy change between the two of them. And now we're on alternate strategies at 9th and 10th. Deck 5 seconds off the back of that. Then it's Peckish and then Capale, who's still only 5 seconds ahead of Rich Job. The absolute tail off the rear of the field. Max wait time is 11 minutes and 30 seconds. Which means we are now encompassing just the bottom three again. I wonder if we're going to pick up Peckish in that regard before the end of the stint as well. Syndra keeps going as quick as he is. There's a world we probably have a 5-way fight for last in the final stint of this race.
I was about to start talking about the halogen headlights since there's so many Astons and they only have the halogens, but I'll save that for my little physics corner talk.
That is fair enough. We got 7.7 to Senor Fac, and Brutus is ahead of Senor Fac now then. Brutus is ahead. That has only just happened. Let's see if we can get a look on board with Brutus to see how it happened. This would be one hell of a dive bomb. If he managed to stick this! Well, I'm not entirely sure why... Well, I mean, I know why Senor Fac didn't defend, but... Wow, that's a...
Maybe try or something?
Move.
I don't know, that didn't really seem ballsy.
It came from
we switched
long
positions.
Way back. Yeah.
I fear I'm going to get dive bombed a lot in the coming season because of that.
Oh yeah, absolutely. There's going to be a few. There's going to be a few dive bombs. I feel sorry for the stewards in advance, because everybody's going to be encouraged to go dive bomb a lot more. The problem with that is that not everyone's going to be able to stick those dive bombs a lot more.
Uh-oh. This still feels like it doesn't really give us much useful data regarding these new physics, just because the Nürburgring is such a unique track. But who knows? I've seen some people say they like it, some people say they don't.
I personally like these. I get the points that people are making about the whole idea of it being a sim, like a sim racing game, and this and that and the other. I don't care. I just want my racing to be fun. Look at this, Brutus on the outside. Now the inside of T-Bop, but he's just blasting on through. T-Bop's got damage yet again, and a bare amount of tires. Yeah, but Brutus still needs to make that move. That way he didn't get held up, and he just done that fairly easily in the end.
As long as the racing is entertaining, I'm honestly okay with it. As it being a casual thing, it is a simcade at the end of the day. If you want something more serious, go play ACC, go play LMU. Not to disparage those, just genuine advice. And check out our ACC league. We have one of those too. And we'll probably have an LMU league whenever it comes to PS5. I'm going to be so fucking pissed if I have to get a subscription to make liveries in that game on console. Gonna switch from Perry the Platypus to Perry the Pirate. Say it with me, ALR fans. If buying isn't owning, pirating isn't stealing.
Jumpers into the pits down on mediums. T-Bop, well, off of mediums rather, and T-Bop's come off the softs. Deck is going on through, sending you back for about 4 seconds off the back of Brutus at this point in time. And there's a few twists and turns, I reckon, still to come here. Brutus obviously on the soft tyres, back on the mediums. That will switch and invert itself eventually. Captain Eli is starting to open the gap just a little bit here on Jokel, but that is because of the tyres. Eli's on soft, Jokel's on the mediums up to this point. We'll see how that switches back again. And it looks like Wacky is overtaken by Epsilon. So Epsilon's up into the top 3 and then almost crashed straight into a wall. So we got what? Syndra 148 ahead of Astrostream, who's 1 of 23 ahead of Epsilon Delta. Wacky, the Polish driver, 2.5 seconds off the back of P3. Eli there, 2 minutes and 19 seconds after that. We will see. I don't really see an awful lot happening in the middle here between 5 and 6. Yeah, I don't know who's on Epsilon account today because it sure as hell isn't the same person who drove on Monday.
I gotta say, he's putting in a much better performance than I was expecting.
Oh yeah, comfortably. Comfortably.
Now, the question is raised, is that because of Aero tuning, and maybe Epsilon should invest a bit more time in esports? Or is that because of the Vantage? Or is that because of the new physics?
No idea, but he did just win a title last season on Mondays, and then put up one of the worst showings in maybe the history of the Race of Champions.
What tier did he win?
4, I believe.
4? I don't know how much I want to put stock into the Race of Champions, just because I've been in it a few times before, and I hate to say I didn't take it very seriously. Yeah, I ran out of gas.
But if you lose by 3 laps in a 60-minute race as a champion, I feel
No,
like...
I didn't say I lost by 3 laps. I
No,
didn't
my
know
point
that.
is that's what Epsilon did on Monday. He lost by 3 laps in a 60-minute race as a champion.
What was he driving?
Not entirely sure.
Fake fan.
Whatever it was, he probably wants to put it away after that race.
AMG. AMG where? Where's the race champions? Red Bull Ring? It's great there!
He lost by 3 laps. You tell me. Epsilon is the most ridiculous driver when it comes to this. He's either top class or absolutely goddamn nowhere. And there is no in between. Because Epsilon's last 3 seasons, I believe, are championship, lapped in every race, championship.
Lapped in every race?
I believe it was something like that. It was on every race bar 1 or something like that. Ross will be able to tell us properly. But yeah, it was quite literally most of the races that season was he got promoted, he just got absolutely obliterated. And then goes down again and wins a title. So I don't really know what on earth to make of Epsilon Delta in driving, to be completely honest with you.
Goalie's convinced Epsilon is actually a pair of twins.
And it turns out the second twin just cannot drive.
Maybe it's an Alvin and the Chipmunks type situation. One is driving, one's working the pedals. That's not impossible.
It's not, but I feel like that would be a lot to go through just for just for racing.
Are you being ableist right now?
Clearly.
Ew.
Clearly.
If 2 psychotic twins want to race as one person and just take turns driving and working the pedals, they should be allowed to.
We have well and truly hit the Le Mans, the Le Mans section of the night. We are currently talking about Epsilon's bipolar driving.
Damn, that steward had a spotlight on him. Marshall. Whoops.
Yeah, we're currently talking about Epsilon's bipolar driving because he's either what? Title get lapped pretty much, and then title again.
What did I say? Showing my age. Is Alvin and the Chipmunks showing my age?
Can't.
There's no way that means showing my age.
No,
there's no way that movie's that old.
Alvin and the Chipmunks was my era of shit.
Showing my age? Surely it's not that I'm young. Just because I made fun of Pyro for being an ableist.
The latest working theory is that they're just 2 twins driving the same, driving on the same account. But no, I don't understand.
It's kind of like Despicable. I think it's like Despicable Me 3.
I don't actually understand Epsilon's yes or no kind of exist or don't exist kind of racing. It looks like Jokel might be about to have a lap put on him by Syndra.
Uh-oh. You know, I was about to hit you with name a famous Icelandic person, but there's a high chance you know a football player. Ooh, no way I got you.
No, you haven't got me. But the people from the Icelandic league that's watching any sort of football will know who I'm about to say, and know for the reason why I probably shouldn't actually say it. Currently 8 and nearly 9 seconds between Epsilon and Lowaski and P4.
I was just going to say Leif Erikson.
Well, yeah, Heidegger Johnson thing, but it's not the name that I was going to go with. Heidegger Johnson is probably a very good shout, actually.
The last name Gud Johnson is so foreign to me.
I've got an Icelandic friend who's a pilot. The Icelandic names are... he told me what the Icelandic names usually are, but I don't actually... I don't actually remember what he... like, how they work, if that makes sense. There is a system to it.
What does that mean? Just your name. It can be whatever you want.
It's the system to the last names in...
the last names
in Iceland and the more Nordic countries in particular. But I can't remember what he said it was. I'm pretty sure someone from the Icelandic legal fill us in on that, but
I think the best I got is a friend whose last name is Frost. He's from the UK.
Okay,
thank you very much.
Peckish into the pits then, so see how far he comes out ahead of Capel. Ah, yes. I remember now. Yeah, Dottier for the women and Sun for... Fair enough. Yeah. I was about to say, I knew there was a system to it. I absolutely knew there was a system to it, but I just couldn't remember what the system was for the life of me. Oh, lad, he done well not to get damaged there. It looked like he just hit the inside wall. The car almost bounced off in the same way. Peckish is trying to unlap himself. It's not going very well right now. Senor Fack 7 seconds in front of Deck, 12 seconds behind Brutus. Brutus is putting down a marker in this session so far. Eli's about to pit. Wolowski and Peckish are currently fighting. I'm going to admit, the person that I was going to name was Gylfi Sigurdsson. For those that watch football will know why that's probably the bad idea.
Dude, you could have picked any name. And I would have just thought, alright. I don't have a fucking clue who that is.
Gylfi Sigurdsson, Premier League footballer, was Everton and was actually one of the better midfielders in the entire league until, let's just say, off-field antics definitely didn't allow him to be.
I like Georgia football players with a car antics.
Or
like Aaron Hernandez antics.
Somewhere in between. I love how we're now...
So
now
more severe than just like petty automotive crime and below dog fighting?
Aaron Hernandez was murder, was it not?
I swear he did dog fighting too.
That was Michael Vick, no?
Ah, that's right, that's right. What? They look really similar. Simple mistake.
You have had a day, Perry. You have had a day. You've called a Lebanese person Cypriot.
2 of them.
You've offended pretty much the entire continent of Europe in one way or another.
What am I missing? I can still do it. I still have time.
Good luck. Technically, yes, if you can find 2 minutes worth of time in the next nearly 4 hours of driving. That's not going to happen. Realistically, you're as high as you're going to get without a DC.
Okay.
Probably the same goes for Joko as well. And he's probably in the same boat. He's pretty much rendered into 6th. Unless something absolutely incredible happens. and for Eli as well. Pretty much shot into 5th. Lewowski needs to keep in good shot with Epsilon just to give Incognito a chance at a podium. I mean, NTO did, but he also forgot to buy medium tires. So I wouldn't be putting too much stock into that somehow.
I swear he's done shit like that before.
It's usually something you only see reserved for Champions Cup or Nations Cup. That kind of error.
Speaking of Champions Cup, that's coming up.
I had to postpone it because I didn't have the proper time to run it. So we'll figure it out. I'll figure out when to put that in due course. Will come up. Nations Cup, couple of seasons time though.
Didn't know that. My statement still stands. Coming up soon.
Simply just I need to figure it out.
What's the gap to Astro and Syndra?
Giant.
All right.
Yeah, long way. Epsilon's closer to Astro. The Astro is to Syndra. What happened to Team Finland? Wasn't really a Team Finland, but the guy that was driving that was
Team
Finnish.
Finland.
I think that Jacqueline, or how do you say it? Or Jacqueline, I think is how you say it. He basically had a pit outlap about 5 times in a row. So, yeah,
it was one dude.
Absolutely.
Am I missing another Finn?
I don't believe so. I know Berigos was in LTRs, but that cannot be the team that he's referencing, because he would know that that's currently in the card. He can see it down the list. To assume it's the other one he's currently talking about, in which that probably sums up how it's going. That one clip of deck right there probably does sum it up fairly well.
You know, there's just like abnormally high number of Italians in ALR. Same for South Africans. I'm not saying like too many or anything, it's just more than you'd expect.
I mean, there is an entire goddamn esports team.
I was going to say, we've got the national team.
We've got a reasonable amount of Italian teams.
For some reason.
Starting to get a couple of Spanish teams at AGT last season, out of this season.
If you're watching this stream and are American, Canadian, or Brazilian and do not belong to a current esports team, call me. We'll work something out.
So look at how everything is going then. Rich Hobb is currently 51 seconds back off the back of Capale again. Capale about to pit though. Peckish 2 seconds off the back of T-Bop. Neither of them are pitting anytime soon, and T-Bop has again got damage. T-Bop had damage again, this time to the rear. He's had 2 sets of damage to the front. He's got damage to the rear now, and Peckish might be able to pick him off down the back straight here. Ross, everyone fell, and everyone has risen at some point in the last couple of stints. Oh yeah, Ross wasn't here for the NTO no hard stuff, was he? No medium tire stuff, sorry. Peckish is up ahead and ahead of T-Bop now. And up into 11th goes Peckish, Ferro GT Purple. And if Peckish and Brutus had done this Ferro GT hours ago, when they probably should have, they wouldn't be in this mess right now.
Ooh. Tell him.
Whereas down in ninth, Deck is pitting in a lap at the end of the lap more than likely. Senor Fack is not.
I'm sorry, is his number 81.3?
Let's have a look. No, that's just 800.
Okay, I thought I saw a decimal.
No, it's just 813.
We can't use decimals in our number, can we?
Not that I'm aware of.
Ah.
Let's see, have we got any sort of fights going on? 149 between Syndra and AstroStream. That's been very stable for God knows how long. The number is their point total for Esports last season. Didn't even put that together. I didn't even put 2 and 2 together there. You know what? Fair play. If only they had showed up today like they did in that Esports season.
My number is 11 because that is what I wore in high school baseball. Simple.
Yeah, fair enough. I can't even remember why mine's 25. Legitimately couldn't even tell you. Might have been some... I don't actually know. It's probably something to do with the NBA, knowing me.
I don't know if it's just because I'm running on no sleep, but I'm just imagining being one of the marshals and having like a little Tupperware full of like sauerkraut and bratwurst. This sounds like it would be so good right now.
Ross changed his to 7 because it was free and he never thought it would be free again if he didn't. Okay, fair enough. To each their own. Because, golly,
You're getting
I'll do
some
trades.
slander.
I am, yeah. I will do trades in that fantasy league once pre-season is done. Because I'm not trading for someone, and then having the knee just decide to completely shoot itself out. I've already done that in one league. I drafted goddamn John Tyson off the Saints, and he's already hamstring hurt, and he missed out. I'm going to miss out the first goddamn month.
Christian Vieri. Who the hell is that?
You don't know Christian Vieri? Oh, we're going to have to take you down a memory lane tour when it comes to football when I come over there in November.
No, dude, I don't know about Chris. Whoever the fuck that is.
Oh, we need to.
Sounds like a nice guy.
I need to educate you. I need to educate you.
All right. See, look, goalie doesn't know.
I understand he's Canadian and probably doesn't watch an awful lot of football. You're actively trying to get into the sport.
Baby steps.
Christian Vieri, for those that aren't aware, striker for Inter Milan. When I was growing up, or maybe a little bit before I was growing up, actually.
Yes. Go on.
He was just extremely good.
Or is that it? He's just good. Okay.
He was just an extremely good centre forward. Honestly, he was once upon a time. I have to do it properly justice at some point down the line, but he was centre forward basically. I think it was in Milan he played for. So he was in Italy basically. I'm pretty sure it's in Milan. My mind could be serving me a bit off there, but. Not entirely sure. Alright, let's have a look. Absolute is currently tailed off the back of the group for the person that was asking that. Is he about to get lapped again? He might be. There's Syndra. Not quite. Syndra is coming up on somebody, however. A pan. We're never actually going to get a pan that includes the person that he's about to lap over for some reason. It'll find it'll happen at some point by the looks. Odd things. There's Jockle then. Jockle hasn't been lapped quite as yet. And further down, do we have any sort of opportunities for overtakes? Lewowski is not doing a particularly good job of keeping Incognito at a podium opportunity. That's for sure. I think 24 seconds might be a little bit too much work to do. Jockle now 157 behind Eli. He is just slowly but surely making that time up. Then you're fucking Brutus. Then they're fighting, but they're not fighting in the way that you think they're fighting. Brutus is now in an outlap on the softs. Probably going to go maybe 1 or 2 laps more from where he is. And then we've got Senor Fak, who is 1 lap from a pit stop here on the medium tyre. Deck 6 seconds off the back of that will pit at the end of this lap. There's Junta after that. Got another lap in him. Maybe 2. Peckish and then T-Bop. T-Bop 50 seconds behind Peckish, and T-Bop got damage again! 2 sets of damage to the front, 2 sets of damage to the rear, and it tanked! Anything that was left for TBG. I'll tell you what, T-Bop is the new Jack, T-Bop is the new Brutus by the looks of things. Yeah, Jack also works in that kind of bracket. Capello 24 seconds ahead of Richard right now. Capello's not that long away from his next stop either. It's well and truly going into the max time limit, which is 11.5 minutes for those that are wondering. Which means we are encompassing all the way up through T-Bop at the moment, the back 4, all at the max time. I don't really see a thing that stops Deck from hitting there as well by the end of this one. Maybe Peckish, we might have a battle for last through the top, well, technically last of the top 10 slots. If both of them do get included in that 10.5 minute barrier, 11.5 minute barrier. Of what, 3.5 seconds here between Deck and Peckish. We are very deep into a 12-hour race now. 1 more stint after this. 2 hours left on the clock after this one. Deck has just gone back-to-back corners where he just could not get the car stopped. And any chance that he had of really catching up to people like Gunther and company, just starting to fall over a little bit. I'm aware that I'm up to pick, but I'm not going to be able to pick until this is done, so enjoy that pick happening about midnight. Still a 2.5, still a 2 hour stint left after this. This has got about 7 laps of the Nord left. Still probably tacking on almost. Roughly about an hour.
Yeah, tell him.
Midnight my time, 7 o'clock in the afternoon on the East Coast. Alright, Jumper getting... Just moving out to the way there as Epsilon goes and puts a lap on the Croatian driver. 11 minutes and 10 seconds down. Probably about hour 9, technically hour 10 of this race here. We are 9 hours through the race, 12 on the clock. 4 seconds here between Jumper and Pekic. Pekic is pitting at the end of the lap. Jumper might go one more. Deck 18. Deck's got damage to the rear of his car. Deck has got damage to the rear of his car, which is going to prove somewhat costly here. He's fine against T-Bob, 40 seconds up the road, but against Gunther, against Brutus and Senor, the fact that he was fighting once upon a time, that's going to bleed the time away. Rich 25 seconds off the back of Capel. See, have we got any proper battle? Senor Fact 5 seconds currently ahead of Brutus. That is tier 2, potentially tier 2 here, Senor Fact. Was tier 1 last season, up against a tier 3 champion. We'll see if that will, well, which way that will actually end. Like everyone else, outside of the minute mark on the entirety of the front 6. Everyone is well and truly separated by this point. Woloski's just pit onto medium tyres. Delta's gonna pit probably the end of this lap here. We got, what, 6 laps to go after this on this stint. Joko damage. Yeah, Joko does have damage front of the car. On the front bumper, he's got the flashing red lights, which means he's going to have a lot less speed down this straight, the Dottinger straight here. And he's going to be about 50 miles an hour slower than he normally is. He's going to go right down to the end. He's going to pit at the end of this lap regardless, so it's not going to do too much damage to him. I reckon the 824 is probably when he did it. I mean, it's not going to do any damage. There are 2 minutes clear the next driver. It's not like he's had to go 3 or 4 laps down the line with the damage either. He's going to have a lot of... he's got a lot of time there just to survive the Icelandic team in 6th place. Not really doing an awful lot to catch Eli in the first place. Very much stuck where they were. Epsilon going to pit now at the end of the lap. 151 the current lead between Sindra and Astro Street. Sindra's got better tyre at the moment. Just played £5,000 wager on Astro. Normally, had you come in at the beginning of the day and put that kind of wager on Astro, I'd probably tell you it was a good bet. But
Oops.
It was one, well, he managed to get it within 30 seconds of Ahmed, who was in the car with Sindra, is currently driving the Norwegian. That did not go well when he had to hand it over to Overload, who was under the weather at the very best. And he gave him back a car that's a minute further behind. Astro just retook the car for this stint, and whilst being one of the fastest drivers we have in the league, it's not really gone his way today. And into the pits now again. And that tire's falling off the front left. Should be probably mediums to the end here. Done 12, there's 6 to the go. No, he's going to do 2 sets of softs here, 2 sets of 3 on the softs to the end of this stint. Gonna fuel up a decent way as well. Notchlife an 8-minute lap. Gonna have a lot of fuel in there. 71% in the car. He's gonna do the exact same the next time he pits in 3 laps time. Delta is coming up to the end of their lap now. Senior back into the pits off the mediums as well. So we'll see what that has impact for Brutus in a second. Looks like there is a fight going on between Pekish and Gunther in the back of the shot as well. Pekish currently on the softs and running out of fuel, about to pit. Gunther just got overtaken on the medium tyres. Probably had 1 more lap left in the tank. They are a lap down, 11 minutes back off the lead. They'll only have to go to the end of lap 17. Pekish is going to be fine with the building of the gap here. Just under a second. Might actually hit a second by the time he hit the pit lane. Either way, he dives into the pits. Pretty much out of fuel, and Gunther will run for 1 more. Brutus is 27 seconds ahead of Senor Fak now. Senor Fak on fresh soft. He's going to do 2 sets of soft to the end. Brutus did 6 on the mediums to start with, so I can't imagine why he wouldn't try that again at some point in the future here. He's certainly can get 5 to the end from here, so I would assume if he is going to go in on the next lap, that's probably the plan. Eli currently 241 ahead of Jockle after Jockle had the mistake on the lap prior. I think if you're the poles at the moment, you're not quite in panic mode in terms of the podium yet. Albeit you might be. That's a new pit. The Epsilon's just pit. Let's see what the timing looks like now as it goes through the pit lane. It does Lewowski just to cut down the time. Gone down to 30, just over 30 seconds. If I'm the Polish, I'd slowly start to panic. I think. It's going to have to try and find a way to cut that gap down, because Incognito's a great driver, but I don't know if he's 30 seconds quicker. Over the space of 14 racing laps. I don't know if he's going to be that much quicker, you know. I think Epsilon might have dragged that team over the line for a podium as it stands. I think Lewowski's going to have to find some time here. Let's see if we got any damage or anything going through. Brutus 28 seconds clear of back as it stands. Gunther still on his lap, pitting at the end of it. And then he'll have another battle with Pekish. Pekish is going to go another stop here. Astro streaming so far from P1 because first thing first, Syndra hasn't pit where Astro has. And secondly, Overload gave him a lap time, a time that was fairly substantially wiped away by the fact that Overload made a mistake in the first couple of laps of the 3-hour stint. And the 20-second gap that was, 26-second gap that was there, turned into a minute and a half. Is everyone crashing now? Actually, no, the opposite. Literally not a single person is crashing. Literally not a single one of them, apart from T-Bop, who still has damage. Deck currently 9 seconds ahead of T-Bop, 32 off the back of Pekish. Pekish has actually just done the pit stop as well.
AKA December. You're fine. No?
Let's have a look. Senior Fat currently 27 seconds off the back of Brutus. Brutus on track, currently going in towards the first, I think maybe the carousel, thereabouts, a lot of things. Heading in that direction, a couple of corners away actually. He's going down the straight now before you hit the carousel section of the lap. 10 minutes 48 back. The cutoff is 11 minutes and 30. That will currently encompass everyone up to 9th place. Syndra does have to pit once more. Capel 20 seconds off the back of Rich. Rich still does have to pit. They seem, yeah, that is good. So we are going to see a pit stop here from Syndra at the front of the grid. We are going to need some rain if we want a competitive final stint, I'll tell you that much.
He's got a pretty healthy gap to Astro. I don't really see that coming down. Also, oddly, the wind has not really changed the entire race.
Which is funny, and I've also just... It's interesting the lack of diversity in weather we have had. I am in a Group 3 car this time, so no one can blame the fact that the weather cycle is a little bit quicker. So, you can't blame that. It's just an extreme unluckiness when it comes to the rain. We had the first stint earlier, which was packed with it, and it was some of the best racing we've seen. Well, how often do you get a 7-way fight for the lead on the final lap of a race at the Nordschleife? I don't know if I've actually ever seen that before, actually. Astro Stream is currently flying. Syndra's going to potentially... It has just occurred to me that we've been forcing wet stints of the hole through these. Abu Dhabi can't rain. Huh. Don't know how we're doing that. But right now it's Abu Dhabi, and Abu Dhabi cannot rain. Which is also insane to say that the racing game does not have rain for every track. Despite how completely unrealistic it might be to have rain, a rain stint in Abu Dhabi. No, right now we're not dropping Yas at all.
I would love to be able to talk to a game dev at PD and see why they just can't add rain.
I've never understood it, because especially to tracks that make sense. Interlagos as monsoon season. The UK rains basically every goddamn time. As far as I'm aware, we're not dropping Yas Marina, so we'll have to figure that out at some point.
Maybe we can all agree to have one of those little fans with like a sprayer in front of us.
We'll get the sprinklers out.
Didn't Bernie Eccleston want to do that?
He did, yeah. Something like that. Lewandowski on the... now 42 seconds off the back of Epsilon. That needs to go down realistically if you're looking at this from a perspective of the poles. That's a certain. Send your back now into the pits as well. Brutus did have a pit stop, came out the pit stop. Senior back has got damage. Oh, and that'll mean Brutus is safe then. Brutus will be very safe in 7th place.
Unless he gets damage. Which, you know, very possible.
Admittedly, I'll give Brutus credit where credit is due. He may have had the first 15 laps straight where he did have damage. He hasn't had any damage in the following, what? Yeah, 15, almost 15 in that lobby, and roughly 15 here. It's got 15 here, well, not 15, sorry, 12 here so far. So he is slowly but surely getting himself back into a position where it looks somewhat respectable. That's Peckish now ahead of Senor Fak as well, so Peckish can do his teammate a little bit more of a solid. Oh yeah, he got away with the lobby stopping for that. Come on, quite frankly, he should have easily been at the limit on that stint, that he got away with it. Senor Fat catching up to Peckish now as well. Senor Fat's going to the end, I think. He tried to at the very least. Let's see what we are looking at in terms of strategy-wise then. 137 currently the gap between AstroStream and Syndra. AstroStream does have another stop, Syndra does not, which is going to cause Astro a lot of problems. Yeah, it's been a long time since that's been able to be said. There was a point where there was no Aero GT teams in the top 6. Never managed to find the way into the top 8, which was fairly expected. Admittedly, one of the very few times they won't win. Laps on 124 off the back, then Lewowski 49 seconds further as well. Don't really know if he can go to the end. Delta definitely can't. So if Syndra doesn't have to pit, the following 3 do. So does Captain Eli, who's going to probably go in on the next lap. Same probably goes to Jockle here as well. They won't go in at the end of 13, he'll go in at the end of 14. Having been lapped, he only has to go to 17 in the first place. Eli's still a long way from being lapped at this current point. Brutus is currently 44 seconds ahead of Peckish. Peckish still has to go again. I think Senor Fat's going to the end. Brutus will probably... Well, that's going to be close whether or not he has to go again or not. If he does have to go again, then Fact's going to get closer, and this will be a battle. Come the end of the actual final stint. Well, so what else are we currently looking at? It looks like Brutus will have to pit again then. There you go, Jumper, 15 seconds off the back there, going to the end. Deck will have to pit, probably coming in at the end of this lap. The blue flags were flying for a second then, but I'm not entirely sure who for. T-Bop 1 minute 36 further back. 14 minutes down at the moment. We're currently looking at Deck, who's getting the blue lights flashing. It is for Lewowski in 4th. The maximum gap is 11.5 minutes you can be. So right now, with Syndra not having to pit again, 11.5 minutes is going to encompass all the way up to 8th. We are going to have potentially half the grid fighting it out on the final lap, on the final stint for 8th place.
That's always how these things come down to. You know, the fighting is insane on the first stint, and somehow, at the end of the second stint, everyone just ends up in the same stretch of road.
It's all the way that it's all built. Though, can't realistically drop too far back, otherwise there is somewhat of a safety net. The safety net. Alright, Brutus currently on an out lap, 47 seconds clear of Peckish. Well, that's true. Might as well. Once you get so far back, it's not really worth dealing with. It's not really worth holding them back too long at the end of the day. So we are currently in a position where we might actually encompass Brutus into all of this. And what would be funny about that is that Gully in particular has been happy about the fact that Brutus has been comfortably sat in 7th for the last God knows how long. And he's about to have all of that ripped away from him.
And does he know?
He is closing it down, actually. Did Syndra just pit? No, Syndra must have pit on that lap a little bit of time ago then. He's just catching up now just a little bit. So it's 10:46. He's going to survive then, realistically. But he does still have to pit, does Brutus. So it'll swing back around. We'll see whether or not he can actually stay above that 11:30 mark. Cut under that mark. We're not going to pay too much attention to them. I thought my stream had just died for a second then.
No, it was pretty robotic, but it was alright.
I mean, technically, yeah, we are actually at 12 hours at the end of this stint. How have we gone so wrong? Even one lap on each stint may have been would be a bit optimistic to try and work that last stint in. It is interesting because we now have technically hit 12 hours. We haven't actually hit 12 hours of racing, but we have hit 12 hours of total time.
Mm-hmm.
He's here, Perry in the background, just losing his mind.
Nope, just trying to remember that the lap count takes longer than it looks. I can see, oh, only 5 more laps. Yeah, last 8 minutes.
It's 8 minutes per lap. You've still got another 30 minutes.
I've got chicken to marinade. Pro tip. Soy sauce. 3 parts rice vinegar, 1 parts sugar. Diced garlic. Sliced ginger. Marinade. 30 minutes, 45 minutes. Grill. Excellent. That's better than heroin.
Ow, that hurt. That caught me off guard.
I'm more of a savory guy anyways, not that into cake.
Oh god. Perry was just wanting his Le Mans moment.
I mean, they're all minimum like 15 seconds apart in the dark. It's time to start talking about some cake. Ross is having a good joke at your expense. It's not ASMR, that's just my voice.
Just Perry exists in the corner just to talk about marinades.
Look, it changes your dish. It can add so much flavor. I'm yapping about some shit that'll change your life, goalie. That's what I'm yapping about.
Alright, let's have a look at what is going on in terms of the track right now. Gunther is well, everyone up to Senor Fak is still over the top of that 11.5. So actually, so is Peckish. 10:44 for Brutus right now. Still has to pit. That's going to be the interesting part. Thing. He's actually caught up a decent chunk on the Icelandic team, but obviously with the sale have to pit problem going on for Brutus, is the Icelandic team will probably gain back around the 2-minute mark on the car behind. There's still not a single gap within a minute through the top 6.
Where's Syndra at?
Currently 127 up on Astra Stream. And
3 laps left. Just starting the GP section.
Yeah, 3 pretty much entire laps left. We're looking to start the next stint about 9:30.
An ALR mini quiz. What do you mean by that, Gilles?
Astra now into the pits. It'll be the final time he pits today. That gap is going to go up to about 2 minutes. This is the one I'm interested about, this gap here, whether or not Brutus can keep himself inside that 11.5 minute section.
I think he will. Because he doesn't have to last 4-ish more laps. He has to last 3-ish more laps.
He does still have to pit though.
True. Question 1. What track did the Monday League race on Season 1, Round 1? I have no idea.
What, round 1 of last season?
Nope, Season 1, Round 1.
Oh, Season 1, Round 1. Oh, Jesus.
I wasn't here yet.
That was before I got here. I joined in Season 2. Fucking hell. It was something stupid like Lego. No, Ryan.
I was gonna say Dragon Trail. Probably just because that was my first ALR track. It was Lago.
How well do I know Ryan? Hey!
Does he like Lago?
He just likes his... It was probably a reverse track now, Ryan, given the fact that... I'm obviously taking a piss, but the joke is that he does love a good reverse track. No, he just likes the weird tracks that also have a reverse layout that you can do multiple times. Who won Season 17 Round 1 from Tier 1?
Season... Where did you see that?
Ross just put it in.
Oh. Season 17...
Season 17
of
Round
the
1 for
first
Tier
race
1.
of the previous physics. Season 17... What was this past season numbered? 20-something?
23.
23?
Oh, round 6. Okay, yeah, round 6 in that season. Okay, so 17 round 6. I forgot that Spec 3 came out in random ass period of time.
Was it Iggy?
Season
Because I remember that it was Autopolis. No, it was Brands. Brands was the first race.
Said it.
Wait, no. What am I thinking of? Because I was in the Beetle that season. Maybe I'm 2 physics sets ago. It was whenever Ross and I were... Autopolis was the physics before... Yeah. Yep.
Something makes me want to say it'd be someone like Zico. It'd be like Zico having kind of time.
Yannick, final answer. Damn it, Zico.
I can promise you my phone is on YouTube. I ain't looking this shit up. Yannick,
oh, hold on.
Feature. I'm technically right because he won the sprint. Because he won the first race. So get fucked.
I'm still taking that as a win. Was that whenever they were teammates that season, weren't they?
That might be the case, yes, you might be right.
In one driver that has an average of more than 100 races per win. Pyro. Easy peasy.
God! You know what, Jill? Go fuck yourself. The answer's me, but go fuck yourself.
I didn't even have to think about it. How many wins do you have? 3?
330 something races.
Can't believe I knew that off the top of my head. Mike. Mike is a good answer too.
Yeah, Mike might be the other one. There can only be like 2 or 3. Like, there could not genuinely only be like 2 or 3 of those. Because the criteria means that they have to actually have a win.
His one and only.
I don't even know if Mike has done 100 races. I ain't gonna lie.
I've got one, but it's kind of cheap. It's kind of a cheap shot. It was, oh God. Pyro, that Nations Cup that I made all the designs for, that was the second one, right?
Yeah.
Alright, I've told you this number before, so you should know it. For that Nations Cup, how many designs total did I make?
Let's see. I'll see if someone else can get the answer first. I roughly know the number.
I will be shocked if someone knows the number.
Red Peckish is just starting to hunt down Junta here, trying to get 9th place. Not that it's going to matter an awful lot.
Ross says 12. It's a little low.
12. I would...
Cold.
I mean, the answer to Perry's one is somewhere in the 160s or 170s.
Yeah, it was 164.
Yeah.
I'm surprised you remembered 160s.
I actually had 164 in my head. I just wanted to be a bit broad with it because I wasn't actually answering the question.
I would have been floored. It would have been floored if you said 164.
I wasn't tempted to answer the question properly because I knew the answer. The answer is 164.
Didn't Team USA make it to the finals because another country had to back out?
Probably the Netherlands, knowing everything else that happened.
I remember racing the some Mazda at Suzuka, I think? Something like that.
No, I think
Ross was very close.
I think the final Stat 1 round Suzuka race would have been the Ferrari Berlinetta.
That's right. Yeah.
It would have been the Ferrari Berlinetta that season.
And then there was the McLaren at Monza.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Route 1.
Yeah. Okay, so then we were in the finals.
Because we were leading and then I botched Monza quite heavily.
Has England won the
Nope.
Nations Cup?
Nope.
Ironic.
It has been Italy or some version of people that had Italian descent in it.
Austria? Canada?
Canada was the only other one that hasn't been won by a member of the Italian team. It was Italy, Canada, because Canada won the one that was Monza, with the McLaren at Monza. Then it would have been Europe, Italy, Europe, I believe, or something of that nature. Some of that.
I know Iggy was on the team, Ross. I'm almost positive Iggy was on it.
Would have Platt been on that team by then?
Ooh. I think so.
Because it was...
Iggy was 1.
Oh, is that the Daytona one?
Platt was 2.
Yeah, but I had a funny feeling Iggy...
No, it was Spa.
I know they're talking about Spa. I was trying to figure out because they also had the same team in that Daytona race. I'm pretty sure.
Who was 3 then?
Because they very much just ran the same team for God knows how many because they just couldn't be beaten.
Yeah, yep. It was...
Wasn't BX?
Oh, it wasn't Asseldor. No, BX was with me.
No, it was Tier 1. I'm pretty sure it was a Tier 1 driver. Was it Keto? Might have been Keto.
Yes, I think it was. I think it was.
I think it was Keto.
It was. Good job.
And we haven't seen Eli for a while because Eli is 2.5 minutes either side of it. There is not a lot of reason to feature anyone, to be honest with you, in this top 6. They are very much away.
Yep. Platt is back to racing MotoGP. So he shows up, races Tier 1, wins a few races, wins a few Esport races, decides bikes are better. Leaves.
Brutus is currently 40 seconds ahead of Senor Fact. Brutus has pit again.
Where's Syndra at in his lap? He should be just starting the final lap.
The answer is...
Not quite yet.
Not quite, no. First ever alien I encountered was... Yeah, it had to be Iggy. I think it has to be Iggy. Because we had BR4 before that.
I remember him.
I don't really think I would class BR4 as an alien. To be honest with you, most of that Tier 1 from all the way back in like those kind of days would not be Tier 1 in modern day ALR by quite some distance. I think
Well, that makes me feel
might
good.
be the only person in that Tier 1 from back in those days that would be in Tier 1 currently. BR4, if he stood at the same pace, would probably be Tier 2. But the Gulf was... It was those two, and the Gulf after that was horrendously big. So we'll go back to this now. Then we'll see if we can find any sort of battles. Peckish is ahead of Junta. That is a 2-second advantage now for Peckish. There are 5 people who have achieved 10 plus pole positions in Tier 1. So Iggy's one of them.
The 5 drivers who 10 plus poles.
Iggy's one of them. BX is
BX?
probably another.
Viking?
I don't think Lewis has 10 poles. I don't think Lewis has raced long enough to amass 10 poles.
I don't think he has.
He is 19. Hell.
Surely, yeah, surely. BX has 29. Viking. Surely Viking. Viking has 14.
Okay.
Zico?
Was Zico quick at qualifying?
Maybe not. Maybe not as much to like hit 10. I feel like another good answer would be H Racing Green.
Zico only has 9. I had a funny feeling Zico was...
Oh, so close.
That. I also don't think H Racing Green's raced long enough for that to fall into that category either.
I haven't been in Tier 1, I guess in the grand scheme of things, that long.
Yeah, H Racing Green only has 4. I think you're looking for people at the front of the grid beforehand that was there and
older.
Yeah. I don't think BR4 has 10. I think BR4 probably has like 6 or 7. One old school, one new school. Can't be BR4.
New school.
It can't be BR4. I knew he shared the poles with Iggy, but it can't have had that many. That felt one-sided very, very quickly in those seasons.
New school. If it's not Lewis, I was gonna say Alessandro, but I don't think he's gotten 10.
No, Alessandro's definitely more than 10. I was gonna go Javi. but they don't really have heavy
Ooh, yeah,
race for long enough.
Javi. He's the old school one, for sure. How could I forget?
He came in, that Blue Moon race just blew everyone. Javi only has 5? Wow.
Your live chat is faster than mine.
I did not. I expected it to be more than that. I didn't know if he had 10, but I expected it to be more than 5. He would have
I'm
said
blanking
if
on
it
the
was
last
Lewis.
two.
He would have said if it was Lewis, surely.
I can't think of the new school one. I'm not even gonna try on the old school because I wasn't in tier 1 yet.
Oh, for fuck's sake, he's gone old school. Is it Rossi by any
Lewis
chance?
already does have 12.
Lewis has 12. Is it Rossi that has 10 by any chance?
Gilles wants you to go through the grid. It's impressive Lewis already has 12.
It's BL4 that has 10. Rossi has 9. Fair enough.
I think I have 1? Maybe? I might have 1.
You got, so it's Syndra, then it's 137 to Astro Stream, then it's 322 to Epsilon. So the only two that are going to finish on the lead lap without timing out is the top 2. Then it's 430 to Lavoski in 4th. And it's Eli, 7 minutes and 8 seconds back in 5th. And Yockel 9:34. Brutus 11:11. And the entire rest of the grid meets the match site. The question now is where Brutus is going to exist just to hold on to that 11:30 time. He's currently 20 seconds up on the rest of the grid. Would give him a nice little bit of an advantage into the final stint.
Well, he's only got to hold on for about 8 more minutes-ish. Maybe 7.
He has just hit the final lap, yep.
Perry in tier 1. Yes, I am.
Brutus right now is safe, but he's 20 seconds from being out of it, so a mistake will take him into that period of time.
We'll see. I don't think he's going to be 20 seconds slower. 0 poles?
2 wins, 7 podiums,
2 wins.
0 poles, 3 fastest laps.
I'll take that. I didn't know I had 7 podiums. Thought I had like 4. Do I still have the most non-tier 1 wins, or has that been passed? I feel like Turbo Boy passed me.
Stream is dying a bit. Shouldn't be. That's not a good sign. Okay.
Not on the last lap. Lower, please.
Everyone is.
Dwayne.
You need him in order, I assume, yeah. Absolutely. 15th, Richard in 14th, Pale in 13th. T-Bop in 12th, Deck in 11th, Junta in 10th, Peckish in 9th, and Senor Fac in 8th. Brutus is still alive for the 11-10 at the moment. 9:36 for Jockel, 7:11 for Captain Eli, 4:30 for Lewowski, and then Epsilon 3:19. 1:32 for AstroStream, and then obviously Syndra out in front. I wonder how many races I've done now. I don't actually remember how many races I've done. I think the last time the records were updated, it was 330 something. 335 in my head for some reason. Last time I did a count.
How many of those have you done on wheel?
One season, 2 seasons maybe. So about 10th of them.
Shame.
339.
I think mine's like 180 something.
Brilliant. Which means that it's actually one win in every 113 races. Love to see it.
It could be worse. You know, up until like a season or two ago, you only had 2. And then before that, you only had 1.
It took 97 for the first, 96 races for the first win, 137 for the second, and then well, it would have been 4 seasons for the third. So it would have been what?
Well, what's 339 minus whatever the other 2 numbers were you just said?
Yeah, that is fair, Ross, but they don't technically count to the statistic until they win.
Well, I mean, a win rate of 0 is still a rate.
I mean, you can't have a win rate if you haven't won a race.
That's not how rates work.
I mean, you don't have a win rate if you don't win. It doesn't exist. It cannot exist.
Yeah, it's 0. But 0 is not the same as not existing. At least when you're talking about a rate.
You didn't have to do the fucking percentage.
Damn. 0.885%.
No, 0.00885.
Yeah, times 100 is your percentage.
Alright, Sindra again taking quite a substantial lead into the final stint. 1 minute 29, and he holds yet another stint win. The Norwegian in cruise control right now. And SSL, the number 30 card, going to need a miracle to not win this.
Quite the buffer. I mean, an Astro and Mr. Over... I'm totally forgetting his teammate's name. It's not Overboard. Overload. They did a really good job, but whenever the first car has that kind of consistency, it's really tough to beat.
Especially when the one mistake that Overload made kind of just stifled the comeback. Because Astro was slowly but surely building it back after everything that happened in that second stint, and then you make that one error, you give them a minute, then you are just preying on a mistake. You're hoping for a miracle at that point. Epsilon won't actually get to finish, so we will look to see who has and hasn't finished the race in a second after Astro crosses the line. Jocko just crossed the line. The Absolute will cross the line as well. So Astro Stream over the line is second. It is 1:30 the gap. So 3:19 for Epsilon, 4:29 for Wacky, 7:11 for Eli still, 9:39 for Jocko, 11:08 for Brutus, who is going to be safe by about 20 seconds. Senor Fak 12:04. It's Peckish 12:26. 12:34 for Junta. 13:27 for Deck. T-Bot 14:40. 15:25 for Capale, 15:56 for Rich Job, and then 17:57 for Absolute. 2 laps down at this point. But we'll get brought back to 11.5 minutes, in which effectively so will half the grid. All the way up to, actually, exactly half the grid. And Brutus had a far better stint there than he did this morning, not even close. Had he done that for both of his stints this morning, it would have been a very different race for his team.
Well, as the saying goes, if my grandma had wheels, she'd be a bike.
Yeah, 320 for Epsilon, 430 for Lewarski right now, 712 for Eli, 1107 for Brutus as he crosses over the line. Everyone else is pretty much stuck as they were. It still baffles me at times that I completely forget Syndra still wears the loose moose racing gear.
Does he?
Yeah.
Huh. I didn't know that. I haven't heard of them in ages.
Alright, so now that that is sorted, I'll go and sort this final lobby out. Got 2 hours to go, 15 laps left on the clock. Let's go and round out this 12-hour then. Let's get this started as soon as we can. The sooner we start it, the sooner we finish it. But until next time, peace.